You know, most of us sit in the middle, and we're not faking the funk, but we acknowledge both sides. Some people go hard and try to fake funk, and you know, people call them clowns and they get clowned out. You know what I mean? And blah 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 blah. And then there's people who, you know, who are just so real and whatever. You just sometimes you just got to admit you're never going to get to that stage.
Yeah.
That's you know that this is your journey, but there's nothing wrong with your journey.
Right.
You know, there's nothing wrong with your journey as long as what you've done it is the intention behind it is to try and be the best that you can be, express and release yourself and have a connection. You know what I mean? Like, it's too easy.
That's exactly it, bro.
But not easy.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. And I think that's the trap that, here I go again, just because it's all over this fucking video game stuff that I'm watching. Yeah?
Nothing wrong with that, man.
These older video game dudes on Street Fighter are getting called boomers. Right?
What?
Yeah, they're gonna go, some
I
boomer
get it.
shit, you know,
I
like
get it.
fucking, you know, fucking at tournaments, blah blah blah, this and that. It's very similar to breaking. That's why I'm very captivated by it. But it's that fucking, it's that notion that I've lost my train of thought, man. I went to video game world for a second.
No, I understand.
It's that notion that like all these weird juxtapositions from the tough love to the shutdowns, which are weirdly supposed to uplift and all of that.
Yep.
That's fucking embedded, baked into things like culture.
Yeah.
In this case, hip hop culture.
Yeah.
That fucking these boomers don't see with these new kids.
Right.
You know? Like that's why, let's say, to your credit, to mine, I guess, without sounding like fucking big-headed about it, is like that's why we're still relevant. You know, like why dudes like the younger cats in I've lost the name of the crew, Breaking Borders, seek you out. You know why? No matter how many fucking times I try to fucking retire, I get brought back into the fold. It's like fucking get.
But there's a duality in that being brought back into the fold because you love it so much.
Yes.
It's so hard to step away.
Yes.
But you're also brought back in by other people because, you know, man, you have something, you know what I mean? You have, you know, and again, it's an array of tools. You've got knowledge, presence, understanding, you know, you've earned your stripes, your props, all those things that we talked about, you know what I'm saying? Like, people recognize it, and that's again why they come to you.
Yeah.
And it's, you know,
it's you too.
And it's the duality. You also still love it so much, you know? You know, I've had so many injuries, you know, like I told you about the back one, you know, it's put me out for nearly like the last 2 years, and now I finally fucking got fixed, and I've started breaking and doing, you know, a lot of things, and I am finding a lot of things harder, of course, than they used to be. And I've also had to change some of the things that I've done and some of the moves that I've done and transition it. But this is all part of the development and, you know, of you as a human being going forward. Like, do you think someone who's 20, you know, who's a ballet teacher now that they're 70, you think they're still going to be doing the same moves they did when they were 20? They can't. Your body changes. But that ballet teacher is still there every week teaching those, you know, students because she sees the potential in them. She understands this, or he or she shouldn't, you know, shouldn't say it like that.
We're old school guys.
Old school, sorry, doing the he-she thing. Whoever is teaching wants that person, and again, there's another duality, and this is the crazy thing, they want them to feel what they felt. Right? Because it's inside us to want to technically make other people happy.
Yes.
So, you know, but you also want to make yourself happy. So by teaching it, you're making yourself happy, but being able to, and I'm sure you've seen it sometime. I've seen like a student progress and then just fucking get it.
Yeah.
And it's the greatest fucking feeling in the fucking world ever. Yeah. It's better than nearly you pulling off that run where you met Savasana. You see them have that Savasana like pinnacle moment when they do that run, and you're just like, fuck yes.
And you disappear off into the sunset.
And then you can do your romantic piss off into the sunset, you know, like I'm standing there looking over the cliff's edge, you know, like chest out, my purpose has been fulfilled, you know, blah, 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 blah. You know, I did it with honor, you know, but that's rewarding, you know, like that's the greatest thing in life. You know, you see this person develop, come through. It's like a parent, you know. I'm a new parent. I've seen my kid, go from like just being nothing when they're born, like the tiniest little thing, to now like standing on their own. You know what I mean? To like speaking words, to grabbing things, to having the dexterity, and every day it's rewarding. And that's what you want. You want to see, how can I say? It's something generate, like youth, power, just whatever it is. I can't explain it.
It's like a life force thing.
Life force, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what you see in the dance, and it's the same with skaters or whatever I say. They're talking about music or whatever. Someone just, they talk about it. They see this drummer or guitarist just play this riff, and then da-da-da, and they just see the magic happen. They see that they transform from someone who just practices scales, da-da-da-da-da, they're doing all the work, da-da-da-da-da, and then one day they just they're jazz.
Yeah. One day they're just fucking talking all that jazz.
And that's it. And that technically, like, that's what I'm saying, like in music, like that jazz, that freestyle, that whatever it is, that's what we look for in breaking as well. It's that freedom and just, you still kind of have boundaries and, like physical boundaries and things like that is what I'm talking about. But, every time I think like breaking's not going to evolve again, fucking 2 years later, there's some girl come out and they've got this style and that's like that pop song that every couple of years comes out, resonates with everyone. And that's just what it is. And you just got to accept it. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yes.
But the duality, there's the mainstream and the underground, and they're both magical and they're both beautiful, you know what I mean?
That's exactly it.
And just recognize both.
Wow. Just dropped fucking bombs, bro.
You reckon many people talk about breaking on a philosophical level like this, or they're just like, I just want to burn that cunt?
That's the difference between now and back then. We never had an opportunity to watch a breaking podcast.
No.
You know what I mean? Or listen to one. And we would have to meet these people and hope, like I'm sure, I may have been in a room or at a diner or someplace with you in LA somewhere maybe, where we're with an old school guy or someone who's knowledgeable, like Frankie Flay, for example, or someone, and then have a good long conversation about this real shit, So the times have changed. So
some people, they can talk about it now. I got to admit, maybe 15 years ago I couldn't have talked to many people about breaking like this. Maybe one of the few people would probably be Poe, he's always had an understanding, like the guy's a mad artist and he understands, maybe Wicked, I had a conversation with a fair while ago about like the understanding of it all.
What about Juice Boogie?
Oh man,
that kind
Juice
of cat?
Boogie is like, man, he's an artist for sure. That guy was always on another level, and he had this crazy humbleness, and I'll never forget it. And it's one thing that inspired me as well, because I felt as though I was in that ballpark. He goes, some people are just really good and naturally good at it, and again, I don't want to blow smoke up your ass. That's you. You just had the funk, man. You just got breaking, right? And he said, I was one of those people that had to work on it, and that was me. I had to work, you know what I mean? I didn't have the funk. I didn't have the essence, you know what I mean? Like, I had to travel, I had to go and speak to different people, I had to be influenced, I had to go through different journeys and different things to try and discover myself. And that always resonated with me, but I was just like, at the same time, Juice, no fucking way you had to work for it. Because
I wouldn't have thought that. That's mind-blowing.
He's another name you try and say to younger people these days, and they got no idea. And I mean, the guy was just on another level.
He invented the fucking
the juice flare.
The juice flare. That's what
which no one these days would even know it. They think they call it the fucking, I don't know, the L-Kick Virgin Flare or something. I don't know what the fuck they call it. It's the juice flare.
Some crappy technical name.
But even people like Moy, like Moy came through and just changed the fucking game as well.
The game.
I mean, he was just fucking incredible, that guy. There's so many names I could just talk about that were just so amazing.
We're gonna have to do another one of these, man.
We have to do another one because I'd love to talk about just Australian breaking at one stage.
Please do it, bro. Like, fuck it. Even look, just to get this, if anyone's listening this far, and we got to wrap this up soon
because I got to jam.
Yeah, you got to get going. But it's like we're trying to create this fucking platform here to highlight what we need to highlight because no one else is talking about it, right?
Exactly.
And so, fucking, I'm doing this because this is where the curse is fucking pointing at. A lot of these younger cats, which is really interesting in this time, like younger people want to know about our history, not before us.
Yeah.
They want to know about our history, which, funnily enough, when you rewind back in time, that was us when we were in our 20s.
Exactly.
Right? And so
Everything's in cycles, man.
it's all in cycles.
Everything's in
so
cycles.
when you said that might be a renaissance, there's definitely going to be a fucking renaissance. And what's part of that renaissance? Who were the greats during your time? Oh, fucking.
And will they be looked to? Will they be admired? Will they see something inside, the era that we came from? Like, I can't. Again, just to try and not go too far outside what we're talking about. There is so many people inside of Australia that I was so inspired by.
Word.
And before me and who came after me as well.
Yeah.
Look, of course, Fresh Stocks was a major powerhouse, but I'm talking like, Natty from Perth, man. That guy was just incredible.
Put him on, man. Put him on.
Like that, man, the guy slept on hard a lot,
Yep.
People don't even know how good that kid was, you know. He was just incredible,
Bro,
and then,
fucking Gaetano.
yeah. I
In
mean,
terms of like straight power, but even how he came with his top rock, how he delivered, he came correct,
and someone who I saw develop for a really long time, and I kind of didn't understand what they were doing, was Dreaded. From Adelaide, man. The guy stuck it out and, created his own style and like stuck to the game and was like, the guy had it, man. In the end, he got there, I'm not trying to discredit him and saying like in the beginning, but even in the beginning, I didn't fucking get it. You know what I mean? I thought I got it. I didn't know shit. No one knows shit. And there used to be this thing, and I did get say about this, and this is going back to the very beginning. When I first started, I was told it's going to take at least 5 to 10 years to get good. And I was like young and 2 years, mate, I'm going to be ripping it. And I will say this, until 15 years in breaking, did I finally feel like I started to develop myself and who I was and feel free and actually get it. Like actually get it.
Bro.
Some people get, and this again, some people get it earlier on. There are some freaks out there. Like, I'm going to say like Luigi got it early on. There's a young cat from Miami, Nels one. He's fucking got it. He gets it. There are some people, but a lot of us don't. And it takes us a long time to get there. And there's nothing wrong with that. So as I'm saying, like Juice said, there's a duality again. Some people get it at the beginning and they just have the funk and they just fucking flow like nothing. Like Bryson from Massive Monkeys. He always said, man, that guy was so good as well. Massive Monkeys have forgotten.
Okay, sexy Filipino steez.
Mate, that guy had it. He was loose and he was just good. The guy was just good, Anyway.
Mike Bryson. Bro, yeah.
I'm gonna bounce.
Yeah, you gotta bounce.
So good to speak with you.
Bro, we'll wrap this up, man. But like I need to say this is the last word and I'll let you go.
Yeah.
Thank you for blessing us. But it's not that you had to work hard alone. Like we all had to work hard, whether on the talented end of the
everyone put in
spectrum.
work, man. Everyone did.
Right? But what it was, bro, was you just had that thing you had to unlock, bro.
Yeah.
And I was so glad to like witness that too, bro. Because like you're my mentor, bro. You're one of my earliest mentors, and it's like,
thanks, man.
fuck, man. And I just came back from the States, check this shit out, and then seeing you evolve from that, bro. To be in the same crew with you, 7Ds, bro.
I mean, that was an honor when you got in, man, as well. Like I'm glad I can share that with you as well, man. And it's so hard to just express sometimes, man, because again, this is what we're just going back to very quickly. B-boys aren't supposed to express. We're supposed to do it with our dance. We're not allowed to express any other way. But I just want to say, man, it's really great to hear you be open, and I hope that more breakers going forward have opportunities, maybe in this situation with you, if you're the one that's, giving people this opportunity. And this is by no means, you're stopping gatekeeping in a sense, you know what I mean? You're like letting it be open and for people to learn, and that's the greatest fucking thing as well. That I think it never happens to the breaking scene here in Australia, for it to develop and grow. And it's like anything, acknowledge the past, love the future, and let's just see where this thing goes,
Yo!